Thank you, Chairperson. Mr. President, in your last SONA, we have basically thrown in the towel and given up on the state governing the country. We have effectively privatized the country. Our SOEs are effectively privatized. The functions of ministries and departments have been handed over to the private sector. You have commissions of inquiries, panels, advisors, task teams for work that should be done by the government. You analyze the country's problems. You speak as if you are an economist or an analyst. You lack decisive leadership to resolve the country's problems, yet you want people to have confidence in your leadership. You have centralized power in the presidency. However, there is no tangible results from your centralization. You have even privatized investigations and the prosecution of crimes. This is an admission that you don't have confidence in your own government and your own self as president. You speak about providing land available for private investors, yet you said nothing about providing land for the dispossessed majority of our people who need land. You deliberately destroy SOEs so you can sell them to your friends at a very cheap price. In fact, you are building your own private business empire, because after you are done with this side gig of yours of being president of the country, you will go back to business and enjoy the wealth you have accumulated whilst being the president. You say you are a governing party, kodwa niphethwe. NGOs are governing you. Even with the appointment of the Chief Justice, you want to ignore the recommendations of the political parties and the JSC and appoint a Helen Suzman and a Freedom Under Law preferred candidate. You speak about critical skills for skills we supposedly do not have as a country. You even prioritize e-visas. You have no plan on training and capacitating South Africans to have these skills. Basically, you want South Africans to be always dependent on external skills. You have destroyed the textile industry, which created a lot of jobs for citizens. By opening up the country for cheap products from China, you are basically doing the same thing now by destroying the local job market. Syndicates have destroyed the rail system, which services millions of workers. When confronted with the same problem in Kenya, President Kenyatta showed decisive leadership by banning the sale of scrap metals, where in South Africa, awenzi fokol. You said nothing about the hate crimes against black people in Phoenix and Gqeberha. The events of Gqeberha in Phoenix show the extent of the national security crisis we are in, yet awenzi kwanto. The country is a human trafficking, drug trafficking, forced prosecution capital in the continent, and this does not bother you. A true leader, a true president would have built capacity and confidence in the state and its institutions. A true leader would have listened to the cries of poor citizens who want to be prioritized in their own country. Instead, when you want to open up the country more and displace more citizens from the economy, a true leader would have prioritized youth unemployment and found sustainable ways to empower young people. Instead, your silence on youth issues has condemned young people to hopelessness. A true leader would have a drive to reopen all of the factories across the country and revive the manufacturing, and South Africa becomes a self-sustainable country. A true leader would have prioritized the reducing of the high unemployment levels in our country through fundamental and systematic changes to our economy by nationalizing the Reserve Bank, land expropriation without compensation, and the local production of basic goods. A true leader would have issued an executive order that more than 50% of the government budget must be spent on SMMEs, as they are known to be the biggest creators of jobs, but you don't do that. Last Thursday, you practically begged parties in parliament to relieve you from this position because you don't have confidence in yourself and your government. Sizohlangana kwi-vote of no confidence.
Thank you very much. The next speaker is going to